Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us for the presentation today. We're going to jump in, and I would like to ask everybody some questions here at the beginning. Just want to get some hot takes from you on some of the things that you currently do at work and how they go in regards to your processes and everything of that sort. So we'll start here with poll question number 1. And if you could please chime in and let us know, how do you rate your submittal log register process? And we'll give you a few seconds here to chime in. And if you want to make any other commentary, please do so in the chat and whatnot if there's questions, etc. as well.
I see that people have written good, 67%, and bad, 33%. Nobody said ugly, and nobody said, what's this about?
All right. Well, that's okay. 2/3 are in good shape. Okay. Let's do the next one. So we've talked about the beginning. Now let's talk about the end. How do you rate your closeout and handover process?
And poll is launched. Starting to see numbers coming in.
We don't.
All right. So I'm showing solid, 29%, painful, 57%, and process, 14%.
Right. Well, there's some pain, and hopefully today we will be able to address that for everyone. So thank you for chiming in. And again, if there's questions or things that maybe this brings to mind, please jot it down in the questions or chat as you see fit. So to put a face to the name, Vince and I, perhaps myself as well, we will be kind of writing in the background, doing maybe answering questions or what have you in the chat and our questions. The stars of the show today will be Ramsey Sufyan. He is on Vince's team on our construction application expert team. Just in the, for time's sake, we will jump into the presentation rather than going around the horn. Secondarily, Adam Jerzak. Adam is on my team. We are on the engagement engineering team, and Adam and I both primarily focus on the construction side. So I'm going to get us started, and just basically what we want to do today is talk to you all about what is, and give you a rundown of what is Pype, okay? And for what it's worth, it's Pype.io. As a platform, it has multiple modules within. And that's what we're going to touch on today. We're going to touch on each of these individual modules and give you a rundown of the interface and some of the tools and some of the workflows that it facilitates. This is a great slide out of the gate just to understand that Pype, whether it be AutoSpecs or Closeout, etc., it is applicable to the entire life cycle of construction, and we can leverage it to mitigate risk and to have better visibility and transparency to our project data, in addressing some of the most important pieces of construction that are, again, that cause risk and or headaches. So ultimately, we're going to jump right now and start with Ramsey. So if you will, Ramsey, take it away.
Sure, thank you, Adam. Hello, everyone. My name is Ramsey. Today, we're going to be displaying Pype AutoSpecs for you guys. In my experience as a project engineer prior, this used to be a 1-month process, and so I feel a lot of you guys' pain in going through this. But now, what used to take a month takes a little less than an hour. So I'm excited to go over this piece of software here with you. As you can see here, I have a couple of dashboards here in my AutoSpecs. These dashboards display all of the submittals that were extracted from my specifications. So I have things like certificates, product data, shop drawings. Yep. So my smart register for that specific submittal type, it will show all of my shop drawings within the project. This can then further be broken down to things like divisions. So maybe I just want to see concrete. I can then go ahead and select all my concrete items, and then I can go to action, bulk update, and assign a target date as well as a subcontractor. So all this work being done on the front end will make the construction process a lot easier down the line. You just hit confirm. As you can see there, now I have both target dates and subcontractor assigned. Moving right along to products, the products page. Here in the products page, you'll see a list of all of my submittals that haven't been added to the register as of yet. All I have to do is select add to register, or I can select all and export my data that way as well, or add it to a register in bulk. This is really helpful. Once I dictate what I need in my register, my smart register, everything will be housed there. And then I can go ahead and push it out to Autodesk Construction Cloud or whatever PM software that you're utilizing. It really saves all the guesswork in creating submittals and limits the amount of error that goes into it as well. So yeah, with that, I just want to say, think about what that time savings would mean to you and your company. I'll pass it off to you.
Right on. So jumping into SmartPlans, this is modules which offers the similar power as AutoSpecs. However, during this course of process, you are uploading the construction documents, and we're using Pype's technology to extract information out of the construction documents. Again, a process that would take days for a well-organized team to sift through could take merely moments. So here we already see the information populated through SmartPlans. We have 6 action items that have been organized as action informational submittals, as well as our closeout submittals. This then, as we've seen AutoSpecs do, this does the same. It pushes it into a smart registrar where we have a breakout of where the information was located with regards to the construction documents, the associated spec section, the submittal type, as well as the description on the information that is to be submitted to the design team for review. The other component that makes up SmartPlans is the plan view, which is the database that, which is the module that scans the information and highlights the action items that were found. So we have a breakout here on the right-hand side of all the information associated with the concrete division that has been found within the construction documents that we had uploaded. Also, roofing accessories, looks like we have a submittal that needs to be generated there, as well as requirements for the electrical division. Now, there's also the power of schedules, where this software scans your construction documents and identifies the various components and their associated schedule information. So very powerful tool that helps the team capture the information early in the project that eliminates potential errors downstream in the life cycle of the project. So that's SmartPlans in general overview. Now back to Ramsey to lead us through the closeout module within Pype. Thank you.
Thanks, Adam. All right, so now for closeout. Closeout is another one of those painstaking points in construction as well. So this usually comes at the end of a project where you're turning over the project to the owner. That being sometimes things don't get in on time as well. So here with Pype Closeout, you're able to generate closeout documents similarly to how you would submittals, where it'll extract all of your closeout documents from your specifications that you customize, that you tell it what you wanted to extract. And from there, it'll create a register for you. So if we go to Closeout Submittals here, you'll see that I have O&M manuals, as-built, maintenance data, and special warranty as what I customize. If I go and click into here, I can see more details about each status. I can change my submittal status here from submitted, revise, and resubmit, whatever the case might be. That can be helpful. I can add some user notes as well. So maybe there's some subcontractor notes about the warranty, for example. Maybe the issuance date is going to be, you know, the day of the end of construction, substantial completion date. Here you can upload any additional supporting documents. So maybe you have a PDF copy of this submittal data. You can add that here for the closeout. And yeah, here is a breadcrumb of all the actions that have been taken on this specific closeout item. So in a nutshell, that's what your closeout item is going to look like. You do have a directory list in which you can preload all of your subcontractors in. Here in the reports tab, you do have some reports that you can run. So things like warranty, contact report, subcontractor participation, subcontractor detail report, subcontractor closeout compliance report, submittal report, submittal types summary report, and submittal types detail reports. So you have detail and summary reports here that you can create. All of this can be exported into a physical copy that you can hand over to your to the owner at the end of a project. You can also send things like email straight from here as well. And here is your turnover package. It's going to show you a package of all of your turnover items once you create a turnover package based off of your closeout submittals. And last but not least, this all can be pushed out again to the Autodesk Construction Cloud or any PM software that you would be utilizing. It's a very intuitive software and saves a lot of time in the closeout process as well. So with that, I hand it back to Adam.
Thank you, Ramsey. Let's see. So eBinder, the fourth and final module within Pype in itself, it offers a very easy and manageable solution to organize your documentation. So what I have on my screen here is a preset template organized through or available through the various templates that have been generated in Pype, and also offers ability to customize. So you could arrange these folders as needed. But the purpose of this tool is ultimately to gather all your PDFs that have been gathered throughout the closeout process, and it builds the PDF, the final PDF for you. So you're able to organize your information as needed, build a table of contents, hyperlink all those components within themselves, so you could then turn that over into the owner as the single source of closeout information there. And that's awfully customizable, and it offers as cover sheets, logos, things of that nature that allows you to put those final touches on your closeout documentation. So those are the four modules available in Pype. They operate fairly well, but where we could take it to the next level is implementing Pype in the ACC Build environment. So what does that do for us? It creates a single login dashboard, so you don't have to jump around through various modules trying to collect information as you go. all those capabilities are built into the build environment. So what I have on my screen is what Ramsey has demonstrated on this morning's call earlier today. So we have our dashboard that reflects the project specifications, their versioning, and the various categories there. So we again see the smart registrar that we're able to create and understand the various action items associated within the submittals. We're able to dive deep into the PDF in itself to see to navigate the various divisions and the material within them. And then we see a breakout of the material and those deliverables on the right-hand side here. What Pype else can do for us is generate suggestions. So if I click this button here, Pype AI will then go through the specifications and identify perhaps any items that may have been omitted by the design team through the course of assembling the specification. So it allows you to create the forum for a conversation to ensure that your I's are dotted and your T's are crossed. Product data that filters it down for the basis of design. And then of course we have our file management, team management, and settings within AutoSpecs. So now that AutoSpecs has done all the homework for us on the front end of digesting the specifications, the construction drawings, and the information that is, I don't want to say buried, but sits within that information is difficult at times to get to. So with that, once we take the smart registrar, we could go ahead and pump it into the build environment, allowing us to focus on the submittal workflow in itself and the scheduling of it. So that way we have our plan for success set up early out of the gates, and everything could be trickled, or everything could be hunted down through the activity log. So we see the entire life cycle of the submittal in itself, as well as allows us opportunities for planning. So when does the submittal date needed? When should it be approved by? When do we need it on site? So again, the entire process of construction and being able to see that information through its entire life cycle in itself. And what Build allows us to do is take it to the next level and link it with our project schedule, with our construction delivery photos or material delivery photos. So that way we're able to have a one-stop shop for all this information as it's captured in a live environment and not in some offline spreadsheet that in hopes is the latest and greatest version of that in itself. So that is the run through there of AutoSpecs in the build environment, which is offered in the ops bundle that we offer in Imagine It, where we package the ACC tools alongside the Pype utility tools themselves. Any questions? And I'll send it back to our MC, Alan.
Okay.
Great, thanks, Adam. So I'm see if there's any questions from the crowd. Anybody have any anything you've seen in the Pype platform that you have questions about? Please do chime in. I think maybe I see one.
Yeah, I've got one here. I'm just trying to open it up. Kent's asking, how do you get the information into AutoSpecs?
Right. So maybe Adam, you're there. If you could, I think do you have it pulled up? So what are we? What is out of the gate? What is AutoSpecs doing? So yeah, if you could, what we're doing is we're just going and grabbing our specifications from our project, and we just do just very simply, we do a quick upload. And what Autodesk did when they, what they were thinking through when they went and acquired Pype, they realized that this process, the process of creating a submittal log and dealing with submittals and capturing all the information in your specifications, it was so tedious. And Pype was industry leading in building out the engine that will, OCR capability to read your document and produce, as Adam showed, the back end. They have the AI that recognizes all of the similar language and captures information around, again, product data or shop drawings, etc. And it takes that large specification document, say it's 1,000 pages, whatever it is, and it breaks it down into the organized registry that we saw as they were walking through both AutoSpecs in Pype.io on the web, let alone the AutoSpecs in ACC. So it captures all that information. You're just uploading a spec. It's very quick. Adam is navigating right now. And, while we're here on the fly, we're just it's never a good idea to try to do this kind of stuff on the fly. But while we're here, we're going to wing it and we're going to upload the spec. This is a similar, I think this is even the same spec that we were working on a moment ago, and he's uploading the spec right now. And as was mentioned, when I upload, how much time does it take you? And that's why we asked about the question in the beginning. How long or how much time does it take you to digest all of the information in a construction specification and gather it and actually make it consumable and actionable? Well,
So what?
Go ahead, please.
Sorry, Alan. So I was going to say what I did was I added some project information, project address, and now this is a process where I took that specifications PDF and dumped it into AutoSpecs Pype. And so now here on screen, it's telling me it's about taking 1 to 15 minutes, depending on the PDF size. So.
Right. And so what we're, ultimately having used this a couple times, this spec, I think I've seen it happen in about 4 minutes. And again, what it's doing is reading it. It's using OCR and AI and the learning capabilities that they've built into Pype to process the information to achieve that dashboard and all of the separated data points. And it takes, again, maybe 4 minutes to 6 minutes. I think this is a 900-page document, and it will be able to process this information, again, within probably 5 to 10 minutes at max, and creates that dashboard. I don't know, Adam, are you able to navigate away from this if you were to exit out of this, or could you flip over to maybe another tab?
I'll flip over to another tab here while that's running.
Right. And so this is just the next step. Let's imagine that we fast forwarded in time to get to this location. So, and Adam's going to get an email in a moment when that processes. And again, it could be 5 minutes, 10 minutes. So all of this information that you've captured right here, again, able to be filtered by the division, filtered by data, whatever data point you want to make it more consumable, create reports from it, etc. And then at the end of the presentation, we jumped over to the ACC. Something that we want to kind of take note of is AutoSpecs in the ACC. If we were just kind of flipping back and forth, you see kind of this Pype AutoSpecs on the web, Pype.io, right? That's the web version. Well, what Autodesk has done is they've recreated that same environment here in AutoSpecs. So Kent, I think it was Kent that asked the question. Is there another question that we can address?
Yeah, so
Corey?
Kent's also asking, how did you get it into Built from Pype?
Yeah, I'm not sure where the upload button is, but basically Adam, do you know where the click is? Because it's just
Alan, go back. Alan, go back to your Smart Register view in Pype, AutoSpec.
So
from here, if you filter down your list, like Alan was mentioning, you can abbreviate the submittals that you want to push to build. If you want to grab the entire, once you've taken the time to review, we'll call this pre-registry in your Smart Register area. You take the time, you've edited descriptions, target dates, subcontractors in this view. in the very top right corner where you have the export button. You just pick the Autodesk Build option, but you can see there's a whole bunch of other PM tools, PM platforms that you can export this to. Essentially what AutoSpec is doing from this point in your smart registry is it's just formatting this into a spreadsheet format that's accepted by all of these different programs. So when you go to export to build, show the 3 options that you have when you export to build from. So the most direct one, if you wanted to get right into your submittals and build, is that first option. The second option, to export to files, what that will do is it will save the Excel file directly into a files folder within your build project that you would have to pick. So it'll prompt you to pick where you want that to go in files. Or the last option, if you want it to just export to the Excel format that Build accepts, that's the third one. You can edit it in the Excel and then use the standard import. If you're familiar with submittals and Build, there's an import format that it accepts. So on the Build side, if you create the CSV and you want to maybe filter it there, I don't know what the reason would be, because you can do all of that, all of your filtering and sorting here right in Smart Register before you export. But if you want to do a final verification and maybe clean up some things in the Excel spreadsheet before bringing it into Build, you have those 3 options.
So jumping back, looks like that the specifications have been processed. So then we could filter it down these various requirements. So I'm going to check those. But there it is. Within moments, 887 pages of information has been digested into your now actionable submittal log.
Hey, Adam, can you go to your Smart View? Yes, so exactly what I was explaining before. This is the extraction phase. This is what Pype is reading from your submittals, and you can customize individually what you want in your submittal register. So things like product data, they're highlighted, and it's all there in your side panel, shop drawings, qualification data. Yep.
And then we see the Pype AI tool there. So let's launch it live.
Okay, while we're launching it live, Lori, do we have other questions?
Yeah, I've got a question from Kyle. Kyle said, did you mention that Pype software will automatically generate a PDF file to print the binders or file structures with all the O&M manuals, as built, etc., that will be turned over to the owners at the end of the project?
Yes. So essentially what you can do is you can, once you have your closeout submittals created, I believe Adam was going over the eBinders. Once everything is in your eBinder, you can have a PDF set that you can then turn over to your owners.
Adam, jump over to Pype Closeout real quick. So this is one thing that people might get a little bit confused with. This turnover package is essentially the same thing as eBinder. It just takes, if you're utilizing Closeout, it's going to take all of the Closeout submittals that you've populated in Closeout with all of the attachments and create that eBinder here. So essentially this is eBinder in Closeout. But if you didn't have, or if you weren't using the Closeout module and you just wanted to create this nice packaged up PDF, then you can utilize eBinder, use one of the templates that's available, drop your approved submittals into these different folders, and then package that up. And I don't know, Adam, I'm sorry, guys, I jumped in like 15 minutes into the presentation, but there is the ability to customize your cover page or use their template to upload your company images or a project image to that cover page. And this will develop a hyperlinked table of contents to all of the different sections and all of the different attachments that you would have in eBinder. So you can either have that printed out to a PDF. One of the suggestions is a nice packaged up kind of final touch on your projects is you could always include the PDF on a tablet and turn that over to the owner with all of the hyperlinks and everything active, but in a digital format rather than just a file that you're sending over via email or through a file share.
All right, thank you, Vince. Let me see. So we'll jump over back to AutoSpecs, but here are all the recommendations suggested by Pype AI. So let's see what those look like. All right, we got 2 suggestions here, and then we can see Pype suggestions.
So Vince, I transferred you over as an organizer so you could see the Q&A if they came in. So that's probably why it's coming through your speakers.
Thank you.
All right, so it's suggesting for this division that should we be requesting samples for concrete, and then also suggesting should we be looking for a warranty with regards to the concrete division.
So while Adam is surfing around, do we have other questions, Lori? Or
So far, that's all we have. If there's anybody that would like to ask a question live, if you raise your hand, I can unmute you. Okay. And I guess while everybody's waiting, I did put my email address into the chat. So if you're looking for a copy of this webcast sooner than you get it in your inbox, please go ahead and email me. And if you have any questions that you thought you should have asked and not sure where to go, just go ahead and send me an email and I will forward that off to the team. Just checking. I don't see any hands.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate everyone's time. Adam, Ramsey, Vince, are there any final closing notes we would like to touch on?
Just to add to the one question about how do we get into Build from Pype. So I know we showed the process to export from Pype.io. If you have an operations bundle for AEC, and I know you guys showed the integrated AutoSpecs into the AEC or the ACC, sorry. It's essentially the same method, but when you go to process it over to Build, I think Adam, you've got your Smart Register open in AutoSpecs. You don't have to worry about the same export format, but if you click on Smart Register there, Adam, once you have your Smart Register set up, the ACC version of AutoSpec, you have your same export button over to the right. You can export that to the XLS, so you have the Excel file format, or if you go to Publish, this will allow you to publish those submittals directly to Build. It's the same features that we see in the Pype.io website, but I just want to point out that it's the interface, the format just looks a little bit different in the integrated version of AutoSpecs. Hopefully we'll be seeing soon. So I know that we covered Closeout, eBinder in this presentation, SmartPlans in this presentation. AutoSpecs is the first product from Pype that got fully integrated into Autodesk Build. I'm hoping that the Closeout tools and the eBinder will also find its way into at least improving what we already have in Build. So one other thing that we should probably point out, because the question came up about eBinder, a lot of people don't know this, but Adam, if you go into your Build project, and then go to settings. So Adam is a project admin in this project. This would require project admin. In the settings, that third tab over, as built export. So natively, if you don't have Pype, or if you don't have access to Pype Closeout or eBinder, directly in Build, you are able to create, they call it an as-built, but essentially this is their version of the eBinder directly in Build. And this will capture your sheets, your RFIs, your submittals, your files, markups. And Adam, if you click on edit details, I want to point this out as well to everyone on the call that's still here. You can customize exactly in each of those different modules what you want to have packaged up. This will also produce, when you create the as-built package from Build, this will create a zip file, but in that zip file will be a table of contents with hyperlinked line items to these different areas. So if anything, say a submittal included attachments in it, and we want it to process our closed submittals or all submittals, it doesn't matter. Through this as-built, this will produce a very similar output. The advantage of eBinder is that we have much more manual control over how we want to group things together. If we want to group them by division, it's a little bit more focused on these submittals rather than all of this data. And unfortunately, directly in Build, if we wanted to create that similar eBinder for turnover, all we really have the ability to do is package up submittals as one bulk thing. So however you're processing or approving your submittals by spec number, spec section in Build, that's the format that they will be hyperlinked in this PDF. So eBinder gives you a lot more control over grouping your O&M manuals, your warranty information. Obviously, you can sort that stuff out in Build, but it's not formatted in this export. So this is nice as an option, but eBinder and the turnover packages created from Closeout will give you a lot more control, and it just creates a bit of a nicer, more refined report in the end that you can hand over to the owner.
Thank you, Vince.
Last couple things. The platform is, Pype in and of itself, as the drop down showed earlier. The Pype platform is able to be integrated into other platforms as well, PM software, as well as Build. But with the operations bundle and Autodesk and the way that they're packaging these things, there's of course the operations bundle, there's the BDC bundle, and then the pre-construction bundle. But in particular here, this bundle goes with Build Enterprise along with it, and it gives your company access to everyone in your organization, access to Pype. And so just ultimately the process and the platform, going back to the questions at the beginning, what is pain? The most pain we heard was at the closeout, right? Well, with Closeout and eBinder and making that hyperlinked data set is quick and dirty, and it can be done, and you can be on to your next project very quickly. And then AutoSpecs, and as we saw Adam do live, it was able to crunch a 900-page roughly document and turn it into that consumable submittal log, and with the dashboards and everything, again, within less than 5 minutes, as we saw happening live. So ultimately, very powerful platform, directly connected, certainly AutoSpecs inside the ACC. As Vince mentioned, we don't know any timeline or what have you about the back end being Closeout and eBinder, but we're certain that's somewhere down the road here on the horizon. And as Vince mentioned, the as-built export. So if you don't, even if you're not implementing Pype, you do have that export capability as well. So ultimately, we would love to talk to you about Pype and its connection with Autodesk Build and all of the workflows therein. So please reach out. If you would, Adam, go back to the end there. We've got our, the info at Rand and the phone number. Reach out to, if you are engaged with one of our sales reps, please reach out and we can talk through the various actionable items and Pype and Build that we all saw today, amongst the rest of the Autodesk Construction Cloud, whether it be Building Connected Pro, Assemble, Build in and of itself, etc. So please reach out with questions. We would love to address these with you and see how we can help you expand on and enhance and optimize some of your project management and or any kind of pre-construction workflows.